Hello guys, in this video we are going to learn about this document.getElementById, and with the help of this statement we can successfully link our HTML element to JavaScript. So first let's create an HTML element. When I type P, as you can see, HTML autocorrects me, and when I press enter it just brings out paragraph. So this is the syntax for paragraph. If you want to have a paragraph in HTML, you should use this syntax. I'm not planning on teaching HTML in this course, so it's better if you learn it and come back to this course. And whatever I put inside these paragraphs, it will appear on my HTML text. So we can manipulate this text appearance by CSS, which I'm not gonna do it right now. Okay, so what we are gonna do is that manipulate this paragraph object, this paragraph element, by using JavaScript. In order to do that, we should assign an ID to our HTML element. In order to assign an ID, you should type ID and you should use this equal sign and quotation marks. Inside this quotation marks, you just need to type an ID. Let's give it an ID of paragraph 1. It just needs to be a valid name, like we name our variables. So let's now link that paragraph element to JavaScript. In order to link that element, we are going to use the syntax. But before using the syntax, we need to assign the syntax to something. So what I mean is that we are going to create a constant variable, and we say it equals to document.getElementById. So pay attention to the capital letters in here, it's so important. Inside this parentheses, I'm gonna type the ID, which is paragraph 1. So what did I do in this line? I first create a variable using the const keyword. The reason why I use const keyword is that later in our code we can change the content of P. So this is a constant, it cannot be changed. Once you assign the constant to something, it cannot be changed. We have equal sign in here, which means we are going to take this right side of the equation and assign it to the left side, and we are going to assign this stuff to our variable P. So what this stuff does is that we just link our JavaScript to a specific HTML element. In this case, we link it to this HTML element that contains this ID. Which HTML element contains this ID? It is this one. This HTML element contains that ID. Therefore, when we take this and assign it to P, now we can change this HTML element with this JavaScript code. So this is a little bit of memorization. Just memorize it and use it. That's it. And let's continue. So let's first change the content of our HTML paragraph. In order to do that, you should type P, which is our object name, which contains this whole stuff, dot. As you can see, when I put dot, we have a lot of different options to do, but I'm gonna use inner HTML, which means that we have a variable called as P. When I put dot, we are accessing some property of that variable, which is inner HTML. We are gonna use the inner HTML property of that variable equals to. And the reason why I'm using the inner HTML is that because P is actually connected to an HTML element. So if P was a random variable that contained a number, you couldn't use this syntax. So p.innerHTML equals to a string. We are gonna assign a string to it. So let's say this is a paragraph. When I save it, as you can see, it appears. So what we do is that we take our variable P, we access its inner HTML, we access its content, and then we set its content to be this one, which is this is a paragraph text. So this is a string. We take this string and assign it to our paragraph in the HTML. In this way, we are accessing this content of our HTML paragraph. So you might be wondering, so p is a constant, right? How are we assigning something to it? And the answer is that we are not changing the content of our p. We are changing a property that belongs to p. Therefore, this is a valid statement. Okay, so that's the use of our getElementById. And that's it for this video. I'm planning on exploring this a little bit more in our next videos. So if you have any question, please leave a comment and have a great day.